It's the end of February, but as far as I'm concerned, it's March. So welcome to March 2024. And what are we doing today? Well, we are, as promised on the last video, is fitting some exterior lighting to the van. It's something that I had on previous roof rack, and it's something that I wanted to do on this one as well, especially the rear, to create a better reversing light and all that sort of stuff. But the reasons why I've done this was because in some countries, when I was traveling, like Romania and stuff like that, it was paramount to have external lighting because the wildlife, especially the dogs, are not friendly. They're not going to be friendly to Archie because they're there to protect the cattle. They're like cattle dogs. They see Archie as a threat and all that sort of stuff. Plus, up in the mountains, I remember I was with a friend. There was possibly a wild bear stalking us. So one of the things I've always been conscious about if I ever go traveling again is being able to light up the area around the van and scare people off, but also to be able to see before I let Archie out. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. But also another reason was we had a real bad snowstorm when I was with Sean a couple of years ago in Scotland, and I led the convoy. So what I did was put all my exterior lighting on so Sean could see me in the front because the road wasn't visible. So again, it's all has a reason, and for security as well. So when you're parked up somewhere, you can just pop the lights on and it notifies the people around you that you're actually in the van, and to F off. So these lights, Sean from Project Camper had these when I met with him recently in Scotland. He had these on the front of his van on the bonnet. I saw the quality of these, so I ordered 6, and we've just been fitting these, and I'll leave a link to these in the description below. So let's go and show you what I've done so far. I think it's about £60 for 2. That's with delivery, something like that. So these will hopefully last a bit longer than the aux beam. And so on some other lighting. Archie with his ball. So these are the lights fitted. They look super sexy. I like the black colour as well. I like that they're sealed, so around shouldn't get much water ingress like the aux beam ones have. So on the back here there's 2, and then obviously down the sides there's 2 as well. So I've got 6 lights covering the whole outside of the van. So there's the lights, just drilled through. This is aluminium, secured the lights in. I don't know whether the angle of the lights is correct at the moment until they're actually wired in and it's gone dark and I can light up the area to get the angles correct. But what I'm gonna have to do now is all the cabling is start soldering the cable together to get down to that end, to the front of where the entry line is going to be, and then that will take us through into the fuse box of the aux beam controller, which is inside the cab, and then obviously I can fire the lights up from inside the van. Again, I'll leave all links to all products in the description for you. So I'm going to crack on and get this soldering done. And so I've managed to wire in the rear lights. I'm going to have to buy some more cable to wire in both sides, but that's the reverse lights done so far. And what I have done is rewired the light bar in. Now I didn't do that before I went to Scotland. These are already wired in, so I might change these because these are starting to fill up with water no matter how many times you freaking aux beam. So yeah, light bar's on, rear light's done. Now all I need to do is the side lights. there that with all the new lighting, it's pretty well lit up around the van. 360, front, back, side, everything. So really happy with all the new additions. It's getting cold. Right, see you in a bit. So what I'm trying to do, basically I'm at Mrs. G's house. I'm in the garage. Excuse the background noise, that's the fridge, but you work with what you got. But what I'm going to try and do today is get my 2 recovery boards mounted together with some magnets and stuck to the side of the van. Basically, there are a number of other options out there that you could buy with these, like tactics vans, which cost 160 Swiss francs, and with import and all that sort of stuff comes to a lot of money. There are probably other items as well, other ways of doing this, but I've decided for ease and simplicity is to go with some magnets through the 2 boards and basically mount them to the side of the van. Speaking to a few other people that have done something similar to this, the magnets that I'm going to use, these ones are very strong, and with the 4 of them on each corner of this board, everyone said it's driving at 60-70 miles an hour, no issues whatsoever, and they haven't lost them. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to show you what we need, or what you guys need as well if you're going to do this, and then I'll get them mounted to the side of the van. See you in a bit. So what you're going to need to purchase to create the max tracks that stick to the side of the van is a couple of these large magnetic pads, 2 sets of them, and all I bought is this M6 stainless steel threaded bar. So a pack of 15 of them. I bought 2 packs of these star screws, whatever they are, and some Loctite. So basically what you're going to need to do is take these out of here and then put the threaded bar into that with some Loctite and leave it for a bit. So that's the 4 magnets with the 4 threaded bars all done. And just to give you an idea, these will go through the max tracks, and then you'll use these, which then just spin on and binds the 2 max tracks to this, and then you need to fit. I'm actually going to use 2 on top of each other of these just for extra security. Loctite just to bind them all in, but they're all ready. I'll leave them overnight and then check them in the morning. So that's the magnets. You can see the size of them compared to my hand. The 4 mounted, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So basically 1 at each corner, and through this side with the thread and doubled on those locking nuts as such. So hopefully that should be okay. And then when you look at this side, it gives you enough room so these parts don't touch the side of your van because they sit slightly off. So that's the magnets mounted now, just to put them onto the side of the van. That's them mounted. They are super strong. As soon as they went to go near the metal, they just, like Superman, took off and stuck to the metal. So I'm going to drive with them back to Mule and then see how they do. What do you think? Yes, they work. They work, and they haven't moved. So we have just driven over 100 miles, up to 70 miles an hour at times, in heavy rain and strong winds on the M1 from Birmingham back towards Barnsley, over 100 miles as I said, and they haven't moved once. Magnets work, max tracks are still there. Game changer. And the games begin. Boom. Nailed it. Next project. Next project is this. So I'm sick to death of all the cheap diesel heater vents that you get when you buy like a Chinese diesel heater, those little plastic ones. I've got a couple down here. I'm always knocking it and kicking it and breaking it and all that sort of stuff. So I just thought to myself, how could I make something a little bit more attractive, better looking, and probably more functional and stronger, that will hopefully work. So I was driving the work van one of the days, and it is a Mercedes 907 Sprinter, i.e. the new model. Inside the cab, it's got these circular air vents that you can move directionally and close off the air vent. So I went on eBay and I found one for 20 quid. So that is this here. That is a Mercedes Sprinter 907 air vent. Pretty nice looking. And as I said, these are directional as well. And you can actually twist and close off the air vent. You probably can't see that inside. Oh, you can. There. And you can close off the air vent. And it actually fits perfectly onto, I think this is 75mm diesel heater ducting. So that is pretty cool. So my plan is, when I buy a bit more furniture board to redo the front of my bed and the front of the seating area, I'm going to buy one more of these and then fit these as my diesel heater vents. Now I have had someone go, are they rated enough for the heat that a diesel heater produces? I have no friggin' idea, but as always, something is worth trying and seeing. I just think they would look a lot more better fitted into the van. Another little project that I'm doing, let me just twist you around here. This light switch I've had for, sorry for swearing, I've had for friggin' ages and I don't like it. And I'm just trying to think of a way of changing things up, because a previous video ages ago I was going to buy those Vandermoon boxes, those fabric boxes, storage, which fit into here. I said I wasn't going to, then I've now decided to get them. So I've got these two Vandermoon boxes. So what I'm planning to do is either fit them here where my storage is, or my clothes, or fit them here and lose this strip light, which I might fit somewhere else. So the one Vandermoon box will come to about here, which is further along, and then because you've got that big bulge of metal here in a Peugeot Boxer van, the second one is going to have to come to about here, which means I'm going to have to lose part of this. So I've got to condense kind of all this into a better looking control panel. I want to future-proof the van as well, so I've got to fit somewhere for my Wi-Fi to go, which is probably going to go up into here. There's my light switch, there's my diesel heater, and then there's all this, which is like the underglow, lighting, other stuff that I've got linked in to the van. My Victron battery monitor, my Renogy inverter switch all down here. I've got like a Victron inverter switch around here. I've got my Thermo Pro thermostat. So basically I want to change all this and make it just look a bit more overlandy. That was another reason of getting these, to make it look a bit nicer and all that sort of stuff, because I'm going to be putting these nice Vandermoon boxes in here. I want this to look a little bit better as well. So what I'm planning to do is buy an aux beam 8-gang controller like the one I've got on the front cab, which controls all the outside lights. It comes with its own little fuse box that would just run a positive and negative off the bus bars into the back, and then I can bring the controller, which will be smaller than this, and then I'll just have to configure another little USB-C hookup somewhere else. But yeah, I'm going to control this, make it look everything configured in, but also leave some space for a touch screen, such as like a servo and all that sort of stuff. Victron servo in the future, trying to future proof everything. Nice smaller control panel, look a bit neater. That's the projects that I'm doing. I'm also going to be replacing the pod lights on the front of the van. with some Hella Black Magic 3.5-inch pod lights, which I just think would be a lot better because the lighting that I've replaced is pretty cool. So I want to keep everything black and white. So yeah, we've been working really hard on the van. Got a few more exciting projects and all that sort of stuff coming up. Tinkering around with a little few things for future adventures. Sun's out, spring is in the air, life is growing again, and it's pretty spectacular and amazing. It's nice, and I love winter, and I love snow. And I don't know whether I'm turning a new leaf, but I'm kind of enjoying embracing the sun. Yeah. I've got to go to my mum's this weekend because it's Mother's Day. It would be rude not to go and see Mrs. G and spend some time with my mother on Mother's Day. So that's our plans for this weekend. And then obviously for Easter weekend is a bank holiday weekend. We are taking the bank holiday off and we are going on a little road trip adventure, me and Archibald, to somewhere. You have to wait to see on a video for that, but we're going to go and climb a big hill in the UK and go to some places that I've never been to before, but within easy driving distance. That's a plan. So yeah, that is our plans for March. Apart from that, it is work, buy some bits and pieces for the van, and start to get a few things done to the van. So yeah, that is it pretty much. So we're going to continue walking back and we'll catch you on the next video, or see you in a bit.